Hey, we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Night Audit. I'm your host, Chaz Barnes. Happy Friday, Saturday for most if you are watching this tomorrow. Hey, it's the end of the week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pats on that. All right, anyway, make sure y'all hit the like button, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We got a jam-packed show tonight, right? So we got a lot of things to cover here, right? I got six stories, number six, right? And there's a lot of evil wrongdoing going on that we got to audit out here, right? We got a 6-year-old that brought a loaded gun on the school bus. I don't know what the heck's going on. We also got to talk about a deputy crash, seriously injuring a couple. Okay. We got to talk about some U.S. Marshals that were injured in a deck collapse. I know, man, it's insane. And then we also got to talk about some illegal migrants. Yes, it's real. We have to cover it. It's happening. It's in our society. And also, we got to head over to Seattle. There was a shooting that was reporting over there, a fatal shooting. Police over there searching for a suspect. And also, we got to go to Greensboro because apparently there was some suspects that were charged in the death of a Sergeant Dale Nix appearing in court. All those things over here tonight audit. Let's get to it. Let's get this first story up for y'all and let's get it popping.
Taking a loaded gun to school. Richland deputies say the gun was a pistol and it was loaded. Tonight, the child's mother is facing legal problems. News 19's Jamin Wade shows us how the gun was discovered and why school leaders say this could have ended much differently.
The bus had already arrived at J.P. Thomas Elementary when another student reported seeing the 6-year-old with the gun. School administrators checked with the child and retrieved the gun and turned it over to the school's resource officer.
We always do encourage students to see something, say something. And that is exactly what happened in this instance, and adults responded expeditiously. And thankfully, as mentioned by our chair, no one was hurt, harmed, or no one was placed in imminent danger.
The sheriff's department says the child's mother, 35-year-old Destar Hall, has been arrested and charged with unlawful conduct towards a child. Investigators say the firearm was not properly secured at the family's home, allowing the 6-year-old to get access to it. The sheriff's department released photos of the gun they say was taken from the child, describing it as an AR pistol loaded with .556 rounds. We spoke with Joshua Cullen from the Palmetto State Armory about the weapon.
What we're going to be looking at right here is going to be a AR pistol, or otherwise known as an ARP. Me immediately looking at this, like, this is obviously a custom job. This is not a particular firearm that you can just get off the shelf anywhere.
Collins says regardless of the type of firearm, proper storage is critical, especially when children are in the home.
It is absolutely critical to maintain proper firearm safety and proper storage with any firearm, whether it's a simple pistol, rifle, shotgun, doesn't matter. You want to make sure that only people who should otherwise have access to firearms have access to the firearms.
Destar Hall is being held at the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center. A bond hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. Reporting in Richland County, Jamin Wade, News 19 WLTX.
Also tonight,
What is going on out here? What is happening? Listen, we got to ask the who, what, when, where, and how. Now, a lot of the who, what, when, and where, and how has happened, right? Like, who failed to secure the gun? The parent, the mother, right? Who's also been held accountable as rightfully, right? The charge, the unlawful, like the unlawful handling of a child. We know that, right? Where on bus with a weapon discovered? I don't know. Maybe let's see. We go back. See if we miss anything. Go to it. Hold on.
problems. News 19's Jamin Wade shows us how the gun was discovered and why school leaders say this could have ended much differently.
The bus had already arrived at J.P. Thomas Elementary when another student reported seeing the 6-year-old with the gun. School administrators checked
Hold on.
with the child and retrieved the gun.
So more likely than not, child, we know, okay, child, shout out to that kid. Hold on, we gotta get it. We gotta get, listen, see something, say something. See something, say something. It works. Yes, it works. It's an effective deterrent. It's one effective deterrent that can prevent crimes against humanity, crimes against society, school shootings and all this stuff. It's working. Now, I don't know how always effective it is because some people get passed through. So more likely than not, the AR pistol was probably in his book bag, probably showing at some point, right? And why? The question is, this is the question, the biggest question that we are going to ask over here. We're going to ask. So we already know the who, we already know what to wear, and we listen. My whole thing is this: you got to audit life before life audits it for you. And I say, you know what? Let's go ahead and add the 5 W's. So who, what, when, and where, and why. So we got to ask the why. Why was a loaded firearm accessible to a 6-year-old child at home? Now, I think, and again, y'all, if anybody who's watched or any of my viewers or anybody who's a new subscriber or future subscriber or whatnot, I think I did a video. I think maybe I did too, but it's only one video come in mind, and that was a story of I think it was two, but either which way. So there's a Georgia couple that drove down to Florida, and I think it was Kissimmee, Florida, whatnot, and they were checking into Airbnb, and they left the 4 and 6-year-old in the car, and they had the gun. They didn't take the gun. Matter of fact, when the father got the car, everybody should got the car, right? So either which way, the gun was in reach of the 6-year-old. I think the 6-year-old, or he shot the 4-year-old and shot and killed. And it was horrible. It was horrible. It was terrible. And I gave those parents the worst parents of the year. Now, this lady, some of them was running a close second. So I don't know. By the end of the year, we're gonna have to tally up. It's probably gonna be neck and neck, right? No 6-year-old should know anything, unless from an awareness standpoint, meaning what a gun is and like what it's used for and all that stuff. You should not know anything about no gun that I have. My gun should not be easy access to you at all. It should not be easy access at all. At all. This parent, shame on you. Shame on you. And the fact of the matter is that she not gonna go away. She not gonna do probably knows. It's more like gonna be a felony, right? It's gonna be a felony. So I don't understand why. The big question is why? Why be so reckless? Why there are more and more parents today being so reckless with their children with firearms? Why? Why are parents being so reckless with firearms with their children? Now, I understand there are ones that go hunting, but a lot of times you got to be of age, maybe a teenager, whatnot, and usually there's a lot of supervision with that, right? But you still got to be extra careful, right? But you should know how to get my firearms. Now, I could say, hey, here's my safe. You might say, okay, daddy, keep his guns there. Or mom and daddy keep their guns there, right? But you should not know how to get access to this safe at all. That custom AR pistol should not be anywhere in the vicinity under no circumstances at all. If it's not being in use, if it's not out for cleaning or whatnot, it should not be out. And it should not be in the reach of the child. Can we all agree? Can we all agree on that? Okay, because I am starting to see more stories like this where parents are just being flat out reckless, and it's bothering me. And these stories are getting horrible because that could have it was typically an AR pistol carries, you can maximum capacity 20, 30, 50, 60, 80 rounds, and whatever the case may be. This is, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, now parents, you know how now parents be like, I need to know who the parents are. You really do need to know who the friends of Sarah, or the friends of Sam, or the friends of Michael, or the friends of Montavious. You need to know who the parents are. You might need to know who the grandparents are, right? You might need to know who the uncles are. You might need to know who these people, what their lineage is like. How they rolling? Right? Because these people rolling foul and they rolling deadly and they got cruel intentions and they're reckless. Egregious. Okay. So you really gonna have to vet. So when your daughter say, "Oh, I want to have a sleepover with you," you gonna have, and I'm not talking about just one conversation. It's gonna have to be a full examination. Full examination. What's the name of this elementary school? Let me blow this up. James P. Thomas Elementary School. Anybody kids that talking about, hey, we talking about having a game night? No, listen, you definitely need to know who the parents are, and that's on both sides. Okay, you need to know who if they married, you need to know who husband, wife, the grandmother. Listen, it needs to be a job interview. It needs to be an interview process. I need to know that you are responsible and that you will intervene if something terribly go wrong. You will intervene and you will notify me as well. This is after a while. Listen, this is Friday. This is why people ain't gonna be wanting to fuck with nobody like that, because of stuff like this. Can't take no chances. Because if it's today, listen, today it's guns. Tomorrow can be drugs. Oh, you just kept your coat stash out. I just kept my coat stash out. You just recklessly do. I kept my weed out. Really? He or she come to school. Yeah, listen. You know what I'm saying? I seen my mommy, she did something like, or these, I'm about to get off the story. We gotta get to the next story. But listen, because listen, Chaze care about the kids. Like nowadays, especially with all the stuff that's going on in the world, stuff that's being pushed on the kids, these objectives and agendas and stuff. Listen, you gotta protect the kids, okay? Because they're so impressionable. They're very impressionable. And see, they be encouraging me because I got a baby shower I got to go to this Sunday, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, man, you should get you one of these." No, 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 no. Not because all the parents ain't moving in righteousness, man. They moving foul, they moving wicked. They leaving their porn stash out, they leaving the drugs out, they leaving the guns out. They just don't give a fuck. You want me to have children, so you want us to have play. I don't listen. Even if you present well at a play date, I still don't want to trust your ass. I don't trust you. No. Anyway, I yield my time to that. All right, we're gonna move on to the next story. So we gotta talk about this dash cam deputy crash that seriously injured a couple, and there's a lawsuit that's taking place. So let me take you over there right now. I think this happened in Florida. So let me take you over there right now. Hold on, bam. There we go.
Tonight with that new dash cam video showing the moments a speeding Orange County Sheriff's deputy slams into a couple out on a date night. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
I'm Jonathan Gonzalez in for Michael. That deputy testified he was not responding to a call, nor did he have his lights and sirens on. Now the couple inside that car is taking legal action.
NBC4's Hetty Chang live right now in Santa Ana with that story new tonight at 6. Hetty.
Colleen and Jonathan, that crash happened nearly 3 years ago near the intersection here on 17th and Grand. In that dash cam video, you're going to see that deputy going double the speed limit here on 17th Street. You're also going to hear that deputy's partner testifying that they were going to grab some dinner. The attorney for 28-year-old Megan Doan and 27-year-old Jan Tan provided these.
I'm sorry, I think this is California because I see Santa Ana, but
photos of the Garden Grove couple. He says the high school sweethearts, Tan and Doan, a former Vietnamese American beauty pageant winner, were out celebrating the holidays together the night of December 29th, 2023, when he says this crash changed their lives.
Due to the negligence of a on-duty law enforcement officer and deputy, they found themselves spending New Year's Eve in the hospital with multiple broken bones and surgical procedures, and it's really turned their lives upside down.
Footage from Orange County Sheriff's Deputy Jeremiah Payas's dash cam, submitted to Orange County Superior Courts ahead of the civil trial, shows his patrol car going 65 miles per hour and speeding past other cars on 17th Street. Security footage from the Target store shows Doan with her blinker on, turning left into the parking lot when she was hit. Court documents say Doan and Tan suffered severe injuries, including multiple fractures and permanent nerve damage. In this video deposition submitted to the courts, Payas is being questioned by Doan and Tan's attorney, says he was not in pursuit, nor did he have his lights and sirens on.
At the time of the crash, you were not responding to a dispatch. Is that correct? Not that I recall, sir.
Payas's patrol partner testifying they were planning to get something to eat.
What were you doing on your phone?
Yes. I was looking for dinner ideas.
Was that what you were planning on doing with Payas?
Yes.
I'm looking for someone. I was about to text you because we're going to go eat dinner.
The Santa Ana Police Department investigated the crash and found Deputy Payas to be at fault, with unsafe speed being the primary cause. The Orange County District Attorney's Office says the case was never submitted to them because there was no allegation of a crime. Payas was never arrested nor charged.
It's pretty astounding to us that a deputy could be going 66 in a 35 with no emergency lights or sirens and crash into two civilians and almost kill them, and no criminal charges would be filed.
Doan and Tan are now taking the case to civil court. They want the county and the deputy to be held liable.
Megan and Jan had no chance to get out of harm's way.
And that civil trial is expected to begin late next month. We reached out to the Orange County Sheriff's Department. They tell us that the deputy was actually disciplined after the crash, but he is still employed with the Sheriff's Department. We also reached out to the county legal counsel, which is representing that deputy. It could not comment because of the pending litigation. Well, live in Santa Ana, Hetty Chang, NBC4 News.
I'm writing something down because it's saying this goes to trial. So I basically just notate this, do a follow-up on this. It's made it right on sticky notes. Ooh, man. Oh my God. And see, here's the thing. Law enforcement does that. There are times where they flick the light on just to kind of get past some cars and then turn the lights off. They do that. You all have to not do that. Now, if you got a call, you got something like that, cool. But listen, you know, we give you, okay, it's the police, they speeding through, okay, because we don't, us civilians, us regular people, we don't know. We like, shit, they driving fast. Okay, they must be responding to the call. Because a lot of times they might put their light, they might throw the lights on as they get closer to where they need to go. And other times they throw the lights on and whatnot. So officers, please, listen, love all the work that y'all doing. Know y'all put your lives on the line every day, but listen, y'all, it can't, because that could have been that would have been it for most people. That would have been it. I'm sorry, got a notification. That would have definitely been it. They whole lives, the rest of their lives are in shambles. Now, hopefully they resolve this and get the necessary suit money that they need, but their whole life in shambles. All because y'all want some damn food. You want some food. See, let it be us regular people. Listen, let me be in my car driving fast and the officer tell me, hey man, what you speak to? I'll just get some food, officer. So you had to drive 65 miles. This is 35. So I had to get there. So, you know, I can't talk my way out of that ticket. I'm a super speeder at that point. I can't talk my way out of that ticket. I'm charged with reckless driving. Listen, like he keeps his job, he keeps going on with his life, whatnot. Their life is altered. The partner, he rightfully so, he testified because he was there. But for the driver, the officer, for this guy right here, was it Payas? He goes on like he still keeps a job. He's still employed. Now, because there weren't no criminal charges or whatnot, that doesn't necessarily mean that the department can't let him go. Now, I'm pretty sure because these union, they will contest that. So they that's why they probably didn't They wouldn't do that. But they gonna keep a real close eye on you. They gonna keep a real close eye on you, officer. And keep a real close eye on you. You and your partner too. Y'all are in a where you otherwise wouldn't. Nah, man, chilling slow motion, figuring out, trying to solve. We crime fighters out here doing our thing. They keeping a really every call, every report, every miss or miss. They listen. They gonna be clocking y'all. I'm never gonna advocate for nobody to lose their job to earn they pay, their way of life, whatnot. But other times, people set themselves up to be fired, to be unemployed. You do, especially do stuff like this. I know they put them on a PIP or whatnot, but that means any one little argument, if one citizen says, "Hey, Mr. Paya," I'm saying if I'm saying it right, he talked to me nasty. Can you describe? Okay, well, we'll talk to him. Listen, bring you. Now again, Union Rebel, they gonna keep fighting or whatever, until they can really get something on him that it's hard for them to fight it. The why, but listen, we know who's driving, we know who to who, we know the what, you know what specific traffic maneuver caught, we know they were speeding whatnot, we know the where, we know the when, and we know why the deputy was driving at high rates of speed without emergency lights and sirens, because all y'all want was some damn food. It wasn't along the lines of my partner he had the bubble guts and he had running diarrhea. I don't know. You probably still will get disciplined, whatnot. But I'll be like, oh, he was throwing up everywhere. We gotta. At that point, you can throw the lights on. That right there, that is an emergency. You could throw the lights on, and you would have been down. You would have, because at that point, you throw your lights. You have, because people have to get out your way at that point, right? You have to, but you didn't have the lights on because all you wanted was some nasty Thai food. Maybe some nasty Haitian food. Okay, I don't know, right? Listen, whatever, or some Domino's pizza, right? A pizza with the pineapples on there, nasty, yuck. Or you want an acai bowl. Whatever the case was, whatever you listen, no. Now, like I said, my man was with that lettuce, that diarrhea lettuce. Okay, listen, my man had bad diarrhea. We had to take him back. Okay, listen, throw the lights on. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Boom, we get that. Now, that doesn't mean you need to crash into somebody. That definitely need to crash into somebody. But if it was a near miss, we understand. Okay, all right, hey, he's throwing up and all that. I ain't know what to do. He was okay. But none of that wasn't the case. None of that was the case. So you know what? Listen, I gotta get on this. This was a bad thing. I love my police officer. I love y'all. I still will continue to love y'all. But this one was a terrible. Because they're gonna be watching you. They're gonna be watching you like a hawk, man. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. Don't let your shirt be untucked. Your shirt can't be untucked. Your button can't be unbuttoned up, two button up. You can't miss roll call. If it got you on traffic duty on a Saturday, listen, you can't miss. You can't miss. You cannot miss. You can't miss, man. Listen, sorry for this couple. And now prayers up for a speedy recovery as well. Prayers to them and this. I wish them a wonderful road to recovery. Okay, and all of the success and best wishes as well. Over here from the night audit. Let's get myself. Yeah, man, this is crazy, man. You can't be out here just y'all. No, man, y'all officers. Hey, whoa. Okay, no, y'all can't be doing that. All right, so we got to move on. We have to move over now to. We're still talking about law enforcement. We got to talk about some U.S. Marshals that were serving a warrant, and there was a deck that collapsed that caused some serious injuries. And I will expound on what it was about. So let's get over to some officers that were really responding to a call right now. Let's see. Let me change this. Boom. All right.
U.S. Marshals task force members recently serving an arrest warrant in Missouri. Never imagined the hidden threat would need them. A second-story deck at an apartment complex collapses, sending 9 deputies plummeting to the ground. The marshals say injured task force members suffered broken bones, torn muscles, and head injuries, but luckily, all will return to work soon. The U.S. Marshals Service is the oldest federal law enforcement agency in the country. They provide federal court security, do asset forfeiture, and witness protection. But they're most known for hunting down the nation's most notorious fugitives, as dramatized in the 90s hit movie, The Fugitive. Of course, it can be dangerous in real life, too.
Every single day, they're getting bitten by dogs, they're getting shot at, they're engaged in gunfights.
U.S. Forces Service, come to the door.
They're going after murderers, gang leaders, drug kingpins, and mafia members.
Come outside. Come outside now.
Deputies nationwide arrest almost 300 suspected fugitives a day, including going overseas to do so. This stop for sex offender 26-year-old Jacob Alexander Munoz, convicted of possession of child pornography and placed on the Missouri Sex Offender Registry upon his release from prison. But several months ago, he allegedly stopped reporting to his parole officer, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. We were unable to reach him for comment, and he does not have counsel assigned. Authorities say previous searches of his apartment turned up numerous firearms. This time, there's no indication it was anything but a freak accident. But their supervisor says everyone is fortunate it wasn't worse.
The fact that they hit the ground in 2 seconds and there was no accidental discharge of any firearms or anything like that, very surprising.
It turns out Munoz wasn't even at the apartment. He later turned himself in.
Had that bad guy been in there, they would have been up to the other marshals covering the doors to return fire, to protect them.
Working to protect each other and the public, or even what should be a routine case, turns dangerous. Marquise Francis, NBC News.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Let me give these marshals a hand clap here. I know that U.S. Marshals really go after the tough of the tough, the baddest of the baddest, whatever. They really listen, and a speedy recovery to you all, to the men and women that protect these streets and get these criminals off our streets and try to keep our streets safe as much as possible, right? Sometimes like they say, returning fire, they getting bit by dogs, all types of stuff, running after fugitives and stuff like that. I might have to watch the U.S. Marshal movie. I might have to watch The Fugitive. I might have to put that down. Watch I gotta like Weekend. I might be able to watch that. But yeah, man, this is insane. And then listen. All right. We know the who, we know the what, right? We know who was on the structure, right? You know the injuries, right? We know the where, right? Now, why did the structural platform fail in the weight of a law enforcement officer team? Man, listen. Hold on. I don't want to play it. I want to just get a still shot of the video. They got a bad landlord. They got a bad property management. And apparently they keep sex offenders in the area. Sex offenders. He was registered. I don't know why he stopped reporting. Now we got to get on him. We gonna talk about the marshals. We know the marshals. Listen, the marshals didn't do anything wrong, right? Now, the question was why. I would say, listen, bad property management and bad landlords, right? Can't say that the marshals, they were heavy and because these guys look fit. Like these people are. I'm gonna show y'all the picture. Listen, these people look fit. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. But anyway, this guy, this scumbag here, this scumbag right here, scumbag behavior. Too fast. Hold on. Too fast. He wasn't even at home, so they still gotta go find him, right? Now I think they found, but so possession of child pornography in a sex offender registry. You was a sex offender and you still have possession of child porn. What the hell is going on? Let's do a little deep dive on this guy. Hold on. Why you are sex offender with some child pornography? Hold on, man. He got my head itching. Oh my God. Oh, hold on, y'all. Whew. I got my glasses off. This is tough. All right. Okay. U.S. Marshals fall through. All right, so let's get see, he failed. So this happened on July 21st, 2026. So Mr. Nunez fail to register as a sex offender? Why did you fail to register as a sex offender? Why did you just could not register as a sex offender? You was a sex offender. You should register as a sex offender. Hold on. Let me give you a nice little. You was a sex offender, big dog. Why you didn't register? You had one job. And also, thankfully, the weapons didn't go off. Weapons didn't get discharged as well, right? So he out here with some child porn, right? And he wasn't even at home, of course. So they still gotta go find him. I'm trying to see if they find him. Let's see if they found him yet. No, then they found. No, I think they did. I think they did found him. Oh, the arrest. Yeah, arrest completed. Operation continued. Okay. All right. So they say authorities are still reviewing the structural conditions of the building to determine why the deck. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, that's a lawsuit. Yeah, I got injured on the job. Shh, man. Listen. But we gonna figure out like why you didn't register as a sex offender, man. You're a 26-year-old man. Why you out here? Why you out here messing with little girls? Why are you messing with little girls? Why? I'm trying to dive into the story. No, I don't even know why, man. I'm trying to see if I can figure out if there's any more on this Nunez person. Why he didn't? Oh, it's a month now, so it's July. It's happening. So it's August 21st. So apparently by now they probably already caught this guy. But yeah, dog. All you had to do is register as a sex offender. You already listen, you failed to register as a sex offender and you still had child porn on you, pornography. What is going on? What is happening? Right? Why they had to send the marshals after you? Because they really got to send the marshals after you. They really want you. They say you are a danger to your community. Okay? I don't care. Listen. I didn't tell you. We didn't tell you to go touch those kids. We didn't tell you to go fondle little kids. We don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at us. We didn't tell you to go do this, right? And so you got to send the marshals after you. Okay? Because you ducking your probation. Let me see this. I think this is the part of the video where they talked about that. Hold on. Let's see.
Proceeds to do so. This stop for sex offender 26-year-old Jacob Alexander Munoz, convicted of possession of child pornography and placed on the Missouri Sex Offender Registry upon his release from prison. But several months ago, he allegedly stopped reporting to his parole officer and a warrant was issued for his arrest. We were unable to reach him for comment and he does not have counsel assigned.
So you stopped failing to register as a sex offender. We don't know why. So, and then you can't be reached for comment. Why? I don't know why. And then you got no representative. So you poor. Listen, dog. Okay, listen. You cannot be touching the kids. Okay, that's one thing. You cannot be touching the kids. You cannot. Don't listen, dog. You cannot do that. You cannot do that at all. Okay. Number two, you poor, you broke. So you definitely don't. You can't be even if you was up with your money, whatnot. You cannot be touching the kids and the girl. You gotta go find you some grown women. Okay. Go find you some ladies. Okay. Go get outside and touch grass. Right. This is so embarrassing. I think this is the second story. Now, this is not it. The last story I did, the woman lost her job. She's running for a little mayor, not a mayor, but a manager position in someplace in not California, but Florida. And she just had one job to just register as a sex offender. She stayed at a couple days at this resort. It was like happening late May, early June. Why did you fail to report? Now, your last name to me suggests that, listen, maybe you was up for review, right? Maybe your papers went up and up. Maybe you wasn't here when maybe you wasn't here. My next story kind of segues into my next story. Maybe you wasn't here. Maybe your papers ran out. Okay, don't get mad. Listen, stereotypes are earned, not given. Okay, they're earned. Okay, I am not, because you put these people are putting their lives on the line to get your stupid ass in line, right? Because you decided that you just want to run away and not do your job and stop register and stop reporting as a sex offender. And then you ain't got no legal counsel. Now you got to represent. Now you can't afford no. Dog. I don't know. And now they're going to investigate. Now they got to investigate the structural damage and whatnot. So they might tie you into it as well too, because it was, man, listen, was it worth it? Was this worth it? No. You should have signed up as a registered sex offender. They didn't have to get 9 U.S. Marshals, 9 known. They didn't have to send the Marshals after you. And these people, these men and women didn't have to, they could have been, listen, they got to do their job. Their job comes with a significant risk anyway, right? But they perhaps probably like, we could have been doing something else. Okay, because you got to understand that these men and women of the U.S. Marshal Service, they execute countless warrants all day. That's their job. Sometimes they on stakeout, sometimes they stake out for days, but this a job. Bro, make their job easier and do your part. Do your part, and none of this, what you want to have this kind of heat on y'all. Have this heat on you. Okay. So you should have audited your life, right? You should have audited life, and before life audits it for you. And this is the end result. All right. And so now this leads me to my next story, because we got to talk about some illegal migrants doing crazy things. Okay. And so let me jump to that story now. Do better, y'all.
Illegal immigrants now accused in 2 separate murder cases in Florida, one in Jacksonville, the other Broward County. Madison Scarpino's in our Southeast Bureau takes us through it. Madison, hello.
Hey, Bill, let's start in Jacksonville, where a local community member tells us that the 18-year-old victim has been here in America for several years. He was a legal refugee, but he was found dead with multiple gunshot wounds near a middle school last month. And now 4 illegal immigrants are charged with his murder. The guy all the way to the left is just 16 years old. The next is 17, the others 18 and 20. An ICE source tells Fox they don't know much about how the 16-year-old got here, but 2 of them entered the U.S. as unaccompanied children. 1 entered with family, and the source says at least those 3 all came here during the Biden administration, all coming from Honduras, Cuba, and Nicaragua, according to Jacksonville authorities. Now, while we don't know much about what led up to last month's killing, police reports reveal the victim and a few of the suspects were talking through WhatsApp days leading up to the murder, but authorities say they didn't know each other before that. And we did reach out to the Jacksonville mayor and several other city officials for comment on the case and have not heard back. But just this morning, Homeland Security posted on X about a separate murder allegedly at the hands of another illegal immigrant in Florida. This one happened near Miami earlier this month. HSI says this man was allegedly caught on surveillance footage chasing down his roommate with a machete, eventually stabbing and killing him. HSI says he too was here illegally from Nicaragua. And DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullins says if it were not for the Biden administration, the victim there would still be alive, and he is vowing to deport that suspect.
Wow.
Bill.
Wow, that's tough stuff. Again, Madison, thank you. Southeast Bureau. We'll watch it.
Listen,
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox 1.
I know Biden. I know his cancer is spreading, whatnot. So we can't. I haven't been covering it, whatnot, because I just know he ain't really all the way there. They just feed him ice cream. So we going. But this kind of stuff is at the feet of his administration. Now, like these people, these are the illegal migrants that they caught. I did a story last week where he was not a migrant, he was a legal. He was an illegal alien. Of course, it was in California, so he wasn't a migrant. But he got in under the Bush. I think his papers expired, right? He killed the man. He killed the 65-year-old man, 66-year-old man. One day after his release, he was arrested for burglary. robbery and burglary, right? And he violated his home detention center, like his home detention, right? And the same day the next day, he followed a man or chased a man, whatever, and killed the man in the neighborhood. Listen, these people they're not, listen, these people, that's what I'm saying. I've already said that immigration is a national security issue. It shouldn't even be a partisan issue, a bipartisan issue. Gotta secure the border, right? If you get hit, listen, the only people that are mad about this stuff, and they want to get mad at ICE. They don't get mad at the Crips. They don't get mad at the Bloods. They don't get mad at the GDs. They don't get mad at the Vice. You get mad at ICE, if an enforcement agency. Okay, because every time I see that story that is a migrant, it's not, these people aren't caught double parking. These people ain't caught speeding. These people ain't caught DUI. These people ain't caught, I'm trying to think of something like a misdemeanor or something like that, because I don't know, they hit a mailbox and that's it, right? These people are caught doing the wildest, foulest, egregious, crazy crimes. They're murdering people. And I'm saying, and I preface this by saying the ones that get caught, because I'm not saying you can't now, when you can't look now, you can't overlook it, because like I said, stereotypes are earned, not given, right? Now, if you go to Home Depot somewhere, now and I'm not, again, listen, you can't put it past people, because you don't know the guy that's working on your home, whether or not, if he have 5 bodies on him, that he's painting your walls. He's doing a hell of a job painting your walls, but you don't know if he used that same paint in the commission of a crime. These ain't petty crimes. This ain't no, okay, they stole some, they stole some soda and they forgot to ring it up. They ran out the store. Stupid, but it's okay. All right. These people are committing horrendous crimes in our neighborhoods, in our communities. Okay. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you should listen. If you, again, like I said, I am here for, if you're doing it through the legal way, you cool with me. But the ones, and I'm not saying that all legal migrants are bad or anything like that, but I'm just saying the ones that are caught, they are like, they some bad motherfuckers. I just gotta say it. It ain't no, okay, they got drunk and got into a fight. Okay, left it at that. Right? They is like 80, they icing people. Literally. We know who, let's put the matter of fact, let's put the suspects on the screen. She's fine. They say the one, I think I'm looking at it on my left. So the one on the right, 16, they say the ages. Let me do a deeper dive on here. Let me see if I play this. Let me play this back. Let me see. Jacksonville. So it was in Florida.
Gunshot wounds near a middle school last month. And now 4 illegal immigrants are charged with his murder.
The guy all the way on the left is 16 years old. They is out here. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
17, the others 18 and 20. An ICE source tells Fox they don't know much about how the 16-year-old got here, but 2 of them entered the U.S. as...
They don't care. They don't care. And that's why I don't understand why people protesting ICE and you want to protect the worst among you. You know what I'm saying? And again, you just don't know, because again, every time you turn around, it's okay, you round people up, right? And there may be some ones that are doing the right thing, right? They just got to get their papers right. get it, right? But this like seems like the batch that we keep coming across, they are not caring about getting their papers, their immigration status. They don't care about none of that. They don't care. They don't care. They want no vetting process because they're like, oh no. But you protecting the murderer. You potentially protecting the murderer. You protecting somebody that is a public threat to your community. The right kind of people ain't mad yet. The wrong kind of people are mad. The right kind of people got to be mad about this. And you might say, yeah, this is it. Yeah, it's all, but it's every time. The crimes are just, again, we're not talking about petty crimes, right? The ones I just named, the previous ones, but these people are committing murder, arson. I think I heard a story where an illegal alien, a woman was dating one, and I guess he got over possessive. I don't know. He killed her and doused her body with gasoline and tried to light her body on fire. He failed to do so. These people are trying to kill you 3 ways to Sunday. These people, I'm just saying these people. I don't understand why we fight against our own best interests. Again, immigration enforcement should not be a political issue at all. How many more people gotta be murdered, right, by people whose immigration status is all questionable, for y'all to realize to say, hey, we fucked up. We need to do a better vetting process. And it can't completely eradicate all of it, but at least to the point where it's just, hey, we are on it. Because a lot of times when ICE is going after these people, are murderers. They're vicious crime. And people, oh no, you did. You snowflake. And then guess what? You end up on the news. Don't forget to make Audit or any other channels, whatever, and all that. We covering this. Like, guess what? Maybe you should have listened. Maybe you should have considered this. Because I don't know, man. And they fighting Trump like hell, like crazy. They fighting Tom Homan. Like, come on, y'all. What are we doing? Why are we not previous deportation orders or legal holds requests not executed? Why? They got rid of TPS. TPS means temporary protective. It's temporary protective status. And see, this is what happens when you don't sunset these programs. People start to get entitled. You left your country for a reason. And you get all wide eyed. Oh my God, what do you mean? Oh man, and then you want to like fuck Trump and all. I'm like, whoa, dude. You got comfortable. You was only here for a temporary time. Did you understand what temporary means? Temporary means the same. Even if I say it in a different language, it still means the same thing. This is sad. And again, prayers up to the families and the individuals they lost their lives in this. It's sad. It is sad, and it's a real reality. And we got to talk about it. We got to cover it. And we're here. And we got to do something about it. Now, these people, again, like, they're not getting into car accidents, just fender benders or whatever and all that. These people are getting out, shopping, shooting people behind the school, like just all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, man. All right, listen. We'll stay on top of this story. We'll say if there's anything new, we'll cover it. If it's worth covering, we'll take a look at it. All right, we're going to move on to the next story. We got to head over to Seattle, right? Some more bad guys. Listen, y'all are on it. This is a crime. This is a crime show tonight, man. This is a crime version of the night audit. Okay, so we got to move over to Seattle, where police are searching for a downtown shooting suspect. Let's go over there tonight.
Tonight with breaking news, a deadly shooting in downtown Seattle, and the suspect is still out there. Right now, details are limited. Police telling us they were called to 8th Avenue near Marion Street around 8:45 tonight. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling arrived on scene about a half an hour ago. Jennifer, what are you learning?
We just talked to police, and they did confirm this was a homicide investigation and a fatal shooting investigation. And I'm standing in front of the M apartments behind me. You can see them just beyond the cop cars there. There are people going in and out. Residents are being allowed inside. They tell me this is the M Street apartment building with parking on the lower levels. And then up to the top, it's a very tall building. There are upper levels that have apartments inside. So this is at 910 8th Avenue, again, near Marion Street, as you said. And they are looking into the lower levels. So we saw police going in. We saw them going in with weapons, but they tell me that there is no danger to the public at this time. There are several floors, as I mentioned. They're going in and out of those. We know it was a fatal shooting, but we don't have much information beyond that on the victim. We do know there are no suspects in custody at this time. Police just gave us an update. So we are assuming that suspect is still on the loose. It's unclear if they have an idea who did it or not. They're going to update us with more information when that's available. Homicide detectives just arrived on the scene, and they have begun their investigation. And again, that's happening inside that building. So I talked to a couple residents who live here. They were shocked. They were out having a good night, and then they came home to find all the police activity. So they were allowed into their apartments. So they are able to get in, which is good news for those folks. But again, if you are in this area, police say they want you to avoid the streets here while they continue this investigation. Reporting live in Seattle, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.
All right, so this happened at the time I was preparing for this show. So let's see if there's any updates on this. Man, these people are on fire tonight, man. Like fire. Seattle police search for downtown shooting. Okay, here we go. Nope. Let's see. I don't see anything. I don't see any updates. Let me go on their website. Let me go on the Fox 13. Let's see, go on their news website and see if I can put that in there. Because I don't have, because it was breaking as I was reporting it, or not reporting it, but preparing for the show, getting the stories for tonight. Let me see. Let's see. Search for shooting suspect. No, I don't have. Oh, let's see, because it happened. Oh wow, 70. What the hell? They said 70 shots fired in West Seattle overnight shooting. What in the world is going on in Seattle? No, peeps, I don't have the story. I don't have no more. I don't see. I'm on their website and I'm trying to see if I can find anything. No, they're not. I don't see it on their website. I don't see it. Wow. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't have anything to. It's stupid. It's not great, but I don't have no other reporting on this. They're talking about the Seattle bites, but that's not. Let me see. Seattle downtown shooting. Seattle downtown shooting. Oh, okay. I think I got something. I think I have something. So this happened, matter of fact, 2 days. Oh, 2 days ago. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so this happened on Wednesday. It just hit. It was on my feed. I think in my feed, I seen it was like a day ago. Okay. All right. It says a man was found shot dead in an apartment in Seattle's First Hill neighborhood Tuesday night. The victim was found with multiple gunshot wounds inside the apartment at 8th Avenue and Maryland Street. Seattle police said there's no current suspects in custody, and homicide detectives are investigating. They say medics performed life-saving measures, but the man was pronounced dead at the scene. There's nothing. They said this remains an ongoing investigation. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Seattle Police Department Violent Crimes Tip Line. Peeps, I don't have anything. I don't have anything else more to go off this. I mean, if I were to give any particular commentary to this. It's unfortunate. Prayers up to the individual. I think more likely than not, this is probably a dispute that went wrong. And somebody's tempers probably got flared. And when somebody got mad, whatever, just watched the bang, shot. So I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have much on this particular story. I don't have much more to go off of than what I am, because this happened on Wednesday. So I was trying to see if there was any other updates on this. And so there's no other updates. Okay. All right. So we're going to move over to the last story tonight. We got to talk about some suspects charged in Greensboro. Sergeant Dale Nix appeared in court. So we're going to go to that right now. Yeah. Here we go.
Chapter is written in the ongoing legal proceedings involving Greensboro Police Sergeant Dale Nix's 2023 murder.
WXII 12's Chris Peterson was the only TV reporter in the courtroom when John Morrison and Zacharia Blackwell pled guilty to charges relating to his murder. He joins us live from the Guilford County Courthouse. And Chris, we understand there was emotional testimony today.
Yes, there were several emotional moments during today's two hearings, as well as new information revealed about the murder of Sergeant Dale Nix and how law enforcement tracked down Zacharia Blackwell and John Morrison. The judge denied our request to have a camera in the courtroom during the hearings. The courtroom was filled with friends of Sergeant Dale Nix, which included Greensboro police officers standing against the wall. State's Attorney Christopher Parrish shared in open court that Blackwell, Morrison, and Jameer Foster would rob beer from convenience stores and then resell the beer to a liquor house in Winston-Salem. Morrison and Foster were leaving the sheets on Sandy Ridge Road in Colfax holding cases of beer when they were confronted by Sergeant Dale Nix. According to Parrish, Foster shot and killed Nix before the three drove away. A security camera took a picture of their license plate, and law enforcement tracked them to Winston-Salem using a flock camera system where Blackwell and Foster were arrested. On Monday, Judge Jason Ramey sentenced Blackwell to 16 to 29 months for accessory after the fact. Since she's been in jail since her arrest, she was released by the judge. There was a collective gasp in the courtroom when the judge said she would be released. Blackwell broke down in tears as Judge Ramey scolded her for involvement and said, "You are not innocent in all of this." In a separate hearing, Morrison was sentenced to a total of 15 to 20 years for accessory to second-degree murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon. Several victim impact statements were read. Current Greensboro Police Chief Cameron Ovsel said the impact of Sergeant Nix's death is still felt today and that the people who took his life are the people he would have tried to help. Tears were shed as Sergeant Nix's co-workers at the Guilford County Family Justice Center shared stories and called Nix one of the best among us. The Nix family did not appear in court today. The third defendant in this case, Jameer Foster, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon back in February. He'll serve anywhere from 25 to 32 years in prison. In Greensboro, I'm Chris Peterson, WXII 12 News.
Oh, wow. Okay. Prayers up to his family. Prayers up to the Nix's family. That's the thing. And in regards to the U.S. Marshals that was serving the warrant, they go out here, you don't know, the goal is to make it home, but you don't know that's going to be your last day. And that could have been Mr. Dale Nix's, let's say if it was the last call, let's say if he was kind of winding down his shift whatnot, and he was about to head home and then this happens. You just don't know. I think those are the worst deaths. It's the, hey, I say I love you, but you don't know it's gonna be the last I love you. Where it's sudden, right? You get that call, right? Let me do a little deeper dive on this because I just got this story. So this happened. Oops. Let's do a deep dive on this. Let's get some more information. Wow, because we know the who, we know the what, we know who appeared before the judge, we know what the formal charges were. Now, the why, which I'm going to ask, the why is, why did this confrontation at a retail or a local convenience store turn deadly for an off-duty officer? We're going to ask that. Let's see, Sergeant. What happened? Let's see. What? We know what happened. I just want to outline. I just want to get a breakdown. What? Okay. Wow. Okay. So I have more extensive details. So Sergeant Dale, his name was Sergeant Philip Dale Nix, a 23-year veteran of the Greensboro Police Department, was off duty on December 30th. Oh man, end of the year, 2023, when he was fatally shot outside of Sheetz gas station at, I don't want to name that. He intervened after the two suspects stole around $85 worth of beer, confronting them where, let's say, Justin Foster, then 20, so he was 20 at the time, fired multiple shots. Nix suffered 3 gunshot wounds to his chest, arm, and hands, with the chest and arm wounds being fatal. Another off-duty officer and a paramedic rendered aid immediately. He died after the hospital after 41 minutes of resuscitation attempts. It said the case drew national attention with 3 suspects arrested in Winston-Salem. Foster, the shooter, pleaded guilty in February of this year to second-degree murder and robbery with a dangerous weapon and receiving 25 to 32 years. As we just heard, they don't give the names, but they do give the names. They don't give the ages. So I'm going to just assume that the other ages, the people were probably around the same time. So Miss Blackwell pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact to robbery with a deadly weapon. She had no prior record and was sentenced to 16 to 29 months. After calculating pretrial credit, she was released with time served. So she was arrested from the moment after it happens, whatnot. And then John W. Morrison pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact to second-degree murder and robbery with a deadly weapon. His prior criminal record, he had a prior criminal record and was sentenced to 15 and 20 in prison. Yep, the case, in summary, the case, which began with a minor theft, ending the death of a respected officer, has now been closed with major defendants adjudicated. Sergeant Nix is remembered as an advocate, mentor, and a leader who balanced compassion with a strong commitment to justice. Again, my prayers and condolences to his family and his colleagues. And so the why. Why did this turn confrontational over some, y'all shot an officer over some $85 beer that y'all stole, which would have just been a misdemeanor. Not if you got caught, it would have been a misdemeanor. It maybe, I don't even know, Nick's probably been like, hey, like, y'all, you could have just bought it. Now, I'm not saying he would have bought them beer. I'm pretty sure it'd been like a talking to, but I don't understand. And maybe, of course, he was off duty officer because I don't know. Regardless if he identified him, if he was in his uniform, because I thought he was in his uniform until I read more of it. But either which way, you shot a person over $85 worth of beer that y'all plan on to resell it. Y'all have to be the dumbest criminals ever. Now you throw your whole life away. Now, Miss Blackwell got a chance at redemption. Hopefully she take this chance to change her life, change her friends, change her circumstances, audit her life better before life audits it for her. Okay, let's find a way out the hood, right? Get out the hood, get out of the ghetto. Okay, do right, do better, find Jesus. Listen, no way around it. I'm not missing my words. Okay, and again, find better friends. Okay, find better people. But yeah, over some damn beer, y'all shot a guy. Regardless, y'all shot somebody over who confronted them over some beer. Over some beer. Seriously. I just did a story with the migrants, right? And I'm like, this will even be crazy for a migrant, if an illegal migrant. It's like, why would you shoot officer over some beer? Why would you be stealing beer to begin with? Why? And it doesn't make no sense. Wow, we just throw our life away for anything. Now, of course, she's not innocent. Definitely not. She's not innocent. Nobody's innocent, right? But it's just, y'all, like my baby girl. Listen, the other two, let me see. Let's put them up. Listen, you two, Mr. Foster, Mr. Morrison. Why? Over some beer. You getting 15 to 20 over some beer. You getting 25 to 32 over some beer, over shooting somebody over some beer, accessory after the fact. It ain't worth it. You gotta think your way through. You gotta think your way through. Gotta think your way through before you act. Gotta think your way through. I just literally, hold on for a second. I literally just read this before I stepped on my live stream. I was in my word and I was doing some reading. Yep. And I'm not gonna know. I just know it was the last little bit before I came on with y'all. And I remember what it says. Okay. I can't. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can find it. I can't find it right now. I'm trying to scan through this. It was shoot. Man, I just read that. Ah man, I was in Proverbs. Hold on. Whoop. We'll see. Hold on. Oh man, I can't find it. Lord. I'm over here literally trying to find this. But essentially, you got to think your way through things. Okay, I don't want to. Dang, I'm gonna take more of your time. But yeah, you got to think your way through this stuff. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time over some $85 worth of beer. You shot a person over some $85 beer, and it probably wasn't the good stuff. I'm not advocating for drinking at all. I'm just like, $85? $85. Again, prayers up to the family. Prayers up to Sergeant Philip Dale Nix. Get him the proper respect that he deserves. Whose watch, as they say, his watch ended on December 30th, 2023. Yeah, let me give him a hand clap. I'm getting him. All right, y'all. We have made it to the end of the show. I know. Yeah, I know. So I know this will be clipped up. So you all are watching. So again, you watching this will be Saturday morning or whenever you watch it, right? But I love you all. I appreciate you all, right? Make sure you hit the comment button, like and subscribe, rate and review, share with your friends and the family. Anybody that finds value in this, we appreciate it. Okay, we appreciate the love, the likes, the comments, all that stuff. We're building great things over here tonight. Audit. Once again, make sure you audit life before life audits it for you. Be well, be good, and I will catch you on the next one. Yeah. Peace. Enjoy your weekends.